Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to the Drop Talker Zoom call tonight. Thanks for hopping on. Oh my goodness, I got to think of what day it is. It's Wednesday. Just a little bit about myself. My name's Michelle, if you don't know me already. I have been with the company for a year and a half, and I'm a nurse by trade, still working part-time, just rushed home from work. I work in community, and when I was approached about this company, I was already doing another business on the side for about 8 years, and it was very difficult to build a business. Although I was still loyal to that business, but was kind of looking for something else more health and wellness related. So when this came across my plate, I had a look at it within 3 days, jumped in without even having the product and started sharing. Um, I've really noticed that a lot of people are looking for what we have, and a lot of people are struggling, right, with a lot of weight issues, with health or wellness issues. I see a lot of people, especially in community and with my work, what poor lifestyle and sedentary lifestyle can do to a person over the years and how difficult that can be, right? So sometimes it's just education. But yeah, I jumped in. I've been married 36 years actually yesterday. I've got three grown kids and we're expecting our first grandbaby here in the next 2 weeks. So life is good. A little bit about the company. You can see the logo there, kind of like hands together. We all work together. Um, a lot of times we just partner with sideline business partners. We do events together. We hang out, and we all help each other build and succeed and win. It's a wonderful business. I've never seen anything quite like this where everybody helps each other out so much. So we are your wellness partner, your lifestyle partner, and your business partner. You can travel the world. We have lots of incentives. You can travel the world and earn trips. All you really need is your phone and Wi-Fi to do this business. And at the same time, you're getting good quality products, all natural ingredients that help with your health and your wellness. So that's really important. Like I said, live healthy, make money, and see the world. So our products are science and nature collaboration, and I mean, that really attracted me into being that they were guaranteed, tested, and proven. Being a nurse, I mean, you don't have to be in the medical field to see what we have here. They even look at right from the soil the products are grown in, um, right to the expiry date. And even with our Optimals, you can see that they're clinical doses, so precision nutrition. What they say is in the product is actually in the product. It's not fairy dusted like some of the other products. You have to be careful because a lot of the health food stores may make claims. There's no regulation there, so you really have to read your ingredients and do your research. And there you can see the soil. And we can talk about that a little bit more when we start. We'll talk about a few other products before we get to our flagship product. And we have scientists and doctors who are behind the scenes, looking at all the ingredients, the raw ingredients, and everything. So we're pretty proud of that. Like I said, precision nutrition, right from our optimals, and you get exactly what we say is in there. So we have anything from your gut health, like our probiotics and prebiotics, to weight management, which is a huge one, skincare, protein, even kids' health, things that will help to support your hormones and age you backwards. Like I said, guaranteed, tested, and proven. We go above and beyond when it comes to your health and conducting thousands of third-party validations so you know what you're putting in your body is good for you. You can see just from our scientific advisory board, we've got our chief medical officer, Dr. Ray Strand, who's 80 years old, and he's going to be coming to our PXP convention next month. I'm pretty excited about that. I met him last year for the first time. He gave us all one of his books. He's written about 8 books. And it wasn't until his wife was sick, and he couldn't fix her with traditional medicine. And it wasn't until a neighbor had suggested natural, and that's when he changed his way of practice when they were able to fix her. She had fibromyalgia. So, pretty cool that, a lot of times when, these doctors are only meant to prescribe and treat or diagnose and treat. So there's not a lot of education or teaching on lifestyle skills. So we're really noticing a shift. People are wanting to take control of their health, and live longer and more vibrant, right? Rather than just going through the motions from day to day. So yeah, why not have more energy and sleep better? There's so many benefits to the products we carry. We got Dr. Pena, and I hear he's coming to convention too. Dr. or Brett West. I always want to call Doctor. He's our senior director in research and development. Barbara Cox-Lovesey, she was Olympic athlete, a figure skater, and she's our senior director in health and nutrition. You can see the others there. We have a wellness council, athletic council. So we're pretty proud of all these people who sit on our boards. We have our products are in 7 multi-billion-dollar categories. So anything like weight management to skincare to functional foods, sports performance. I just had our energy drink on the way home. Didn't get lunch today. So, and this is our Tahitian noni. Now, I will just go over a few products, and then we will talk about the drops. So one of our founders, John Wadsworth, was a brand partner for this Tahitian noni, and he was able to expand it worldwide with one product. And it's pretty cool that he is one of the founders and he was on the ground, like we are. So any questions or concerns, he is open to hearing anything that we have concerns about with work in our business. So it's kind of nice to have that support. With the Tahitian noni, I try and have this every day, about an ounce or 2 ounces. It helps with overall health and wellness. It's nice. You pour it in a wine glass, looks like red wine, supports your immunity. You can read on the side there. It helps with your heart, joint health, mobility. And there's these cute little individual packs you can take to work or throw in your carry-on bag. So, and you're going to see a lot of our products kind of work synergistically together. So whatever one you might want a liquid form or powder form, you can see a lot of them work together. I've tried almost all the products. And this is another one, MOA, or Mother of All, helps to reduce inflammation. And none of our products, we can't claim that it cure, treats, or diagnoses disease. So, and everybody's results are going to be individual, and depending too if they're taking it regularly or following the low glycemic foods. But this product is really nice. It's got 36 superfruits, 8 medicinal mushrooms, helps to support your cognition, boost metabolism. And again, you can see cardiovascular health too. So my girlfriend Dana takes this twice a day. She was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis a year ago, or just in January. Sorry, I was thinking it was a year ago. Just in January, and the doctor wanted to put her on medication for pain and inflammation. She started the drops and the MOA, and she's got no pain or inflammation, and she just swears by the MOA. So Sugar Stop is another good one. We used to think it was on your cheat days that you take this, but they suggest, Brett West has suggested you take it every day. Great to keep you regular, keep your bowels moving, and it helps to block 40%, up to 40% of sugars from starch-based foods and 20% of your table sugars. This does not include liquid sugar. It keeps you fuller, so you're not apt to eat so much. It's got a great mango flavor, and it helps support healthy weight. Just make sure when you mix it, drink it fairly soon because it does thicken up. It's that psyllium, which keeps you regular. So that's a great one too. I'm a shake person. I love all the shakes, and I started with the shakes when I started this program in the drops. And Brenda, you may want to talk about the shakes too when we come to you. I love the plant protein, which is our kind of our base shake. It's got 18 grams of pea protein, The Beauty Boost is really good. I love that. I add all four of them together. The Power Boost is great for energy, stamina, and we've got great recipes that incorporate these shakes. Given greens, my husband's a fussy eater, and I know a lot of kids out there who are fussy. And I've added this to meatloaf, and he didn't even know it was in there. So I know he's getting his veggies, and he has that almost every day in his shakes. So I know he's getting his vegetables. And it's got 2.5 pounds of vegetables in every serving. So I measured it out. I don't think a person would eat that in a week. And you don't even know what you're getting in your vegetables anymore. Isn't that sad to say? But there's our detox, Restorix, which is really good. They suggest taking it 4 times a year, every season. With every season, you take it for the 28 days, and then you can take it every couple weeks or months, even just for a week. And it's not just the toxins you're getting from the food, but from the air, from the water you drink. It's everywhere. And a lot of times, if you're not releasing those toxins, your fat cells hang on to them. So sometimes if you're stalling in your weight loss goals, it's always good to take a detox. Our liquid collagen, which is delicious. I just ordered some more of that. Our probiotic, Dr. Pena helped to develop. It's got probiotics and prebiotics. And just if you're already taking one, just if you can do the research and see where it's actually going, this one gets digested in the gut where you want it. You don't want it to get digested in your stomach where the enzymes are there, like, so just make sure, and that's where you want it, is in the gut. And they say your gut is your second brain. So really important to get those the healthy bacteria there. Our Elite is really good for brain beauty support. I've talked to people who've had depression, low mood, and in some areas they start with Elite or they incorporate the Elite in with the drops. Because a lot of times when you're starting something new, your cortisol can be high, your stress levels can be high, or some anxiety. And once you calm everything down, things start to work like they should. And a lot of our products go down right to the cellular level, which then affects the tissues and then the organs. And like I said, once everything's working like it should, you feel better. You've got that energy, you've got that sleep. Overall, you're just better all around health. And I'm all about mental health and suicide prevention. Losing my dad to suicide 40 years, almost 40 years ago. So anything to help, and a lot of our products help with brain health. So Elite is a great one. Mix it in 16 ounces of water. I like mine a little stronger. And it's just a sleeve, and you can have it once or twice a day. Renew is another great one I take at night before bed. And this is the one Michelle McKay fell in love with. Her mom was diagnosed at 55, died at 62 of Alzheimer's. And it wasn't until she was having issues with her brain fog. She lost her way home. The one day she reached out to her girlfriend, Cynthia Bolden, who suggested the Renew. So Michelle was using this for a year before she even looked at the drops. And within 3 days, already the doctor had her on ADHD medication, antidepressant, hormone pellets. And they would help initially, but the brain fog would come back. The Renew took away the brain fog and it hasn't come back. And it helps with promoting deeper sleep, increases libido, reduces body fat. She's an competitive tennis player, and you can just see her arms are so defined, and she swears by the Renew. Promotes health or youthful looking skin and hair, and improves mood and energy. So, and it helps with that human growth hormone. As we lose, when we're in our 30s, we start to lose that. So it helps to increase that production, which is pretty good. And a sleeve too. I take that at night. And you can adjust. You kind of go with what works well for you. Vanali is another, I mean, you're going to hear me say another great product. They're all great products. This is an antioxidant, so it's great for skin, hair, nails, and people with asthma, COPD, lung issues, heart issues, aids in collagen production, and it's got your grapeseed extract and your vitamin C, promotes brain health. I know Chris Doyle has been taken his off all his puffers. He had asthma, uh, I think all his life, and he swears by the vanillin. Some of these you can superdose, and then once you get to where you want to be, or in your health journey, that you can kind of go down. I know they have the suggested doses, but sometimes you can take a little bit more. But this is the vanillin. The Advantage has advantages. So this is a new one they just developed in February, and it helps to burn calories 10 times faster. So you get that leaner midsection, which is your visceral fat, which attaches to your vital organs. They call that the killer fat. Dr. Ray Strand has mentioned that a few times. You take it twice a day with your meals, and you can see the benefits there. Increases your metabolism, activates those fat burning cells. You've got that white fat and brown fat activates, like you see a lot of people who are doing these cold plunges. So same idea, it activates that brown fat, and then you tend to release a little bit of weight when you get the shivering and that effect. So that's with the Advantage. We've had some really good results, and I think I've got your result here, TL, so you can see the weight gain, and that's the hardest weight to lose is that midsection. And with that, you have increased risk of high blood pressure, cholesterol, heart disease, and diabetes. Like you said, killer fat. There's TL's before and after. TL, you're on. Did you want to say a few words? Putting you on the spot.
Okay, I like the drop kick. So, when you're doing all the things that you wanted to do, as far as eating right, staying on the food plan, and then nothing is moving because your stress level is so out of whack and it's accumulating right around the belly. And that's what was happening for me, doing all the things, staying on the drops and and for the most part, staying on the food plan. But it was my stress level out of control. And when I added Advantage, oh my gosh, abtastic results because that was within 18 days. So less than a full bottle. And I was taking one in the morning and then one at lunch. So staying on the plan as far as like not feeling like I should super mega dose and take like six in the morning and 10 at lunch because I want this fat to be absolutely gone. So I did do just two, and that's the results in two. So smooch your pooch and try on your skinny jeans, and you will be absolutely abtastically amazed because the results of grains of paradise. And that's one of the things that after like 10 years of dieting as a pro natural fitness competitor, I was looking for a solution and an edge. And not once in my 10 years did any coach or anyone in the diet industry ever say you should try grains of paradise. And that actually turns on your own thermogenesis. It turns on your internal combustion. And it's like poking a bear and waking that bear up from hibernation and saying, we're ready to like eat your fat cells. And that's what brown adipose tissue does. It converts and makes that thermogenesis naturally. So it's not like any other fat burner that I'd been taking before. It doesn't have any caffeine, estrogen, or any kind of stack like that. It doesn't race your heart. It's all about you activating the brown fat that lies around your clavicle, the back of your neck, and along your spine. And it targets in the whole diet industry, nobody told me I could target the fat around my navel. So I'm jacked about it.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. And then I'll probably get you to chat quickly about Skincerity. So this was Shelly's. She did the face-off challenge, and you can see her results. We were talking this morning about that AGE and the deep wrinkles, and it's like your skin's got layers, kind of like a sponge cake, right? So it's the only breathable mask, world's only breathable mask, and you talk about that trans epidural water loss. So it keeps the moisture in. You wake up in the morning, you look like Thriller. Was there something else you wanted to talk about it, TL, quickly? I think I got these pictures too. Go ahead. Oh, you're muted.
Waiting for the pictures to come up. But Skincerity has been part of my nightly routine because there's nothing on the market that will shrink wrap your neck. And women show their age on their hands and their neck. And that's one of the most important things about staying and feeling younger for yourself is like looking in the mirror, putting on whatever kind of neckline you want, all the jewelry that you want to wear and not have to worry about what's hanging off as far as a gobbler, a tube sock. And that's what I affectionately called my neck from before is a tube sock because it was slouchy, wrinkly, and I might have been in the best shape of my life, but my neck looked like it was 80. So when I heard that Skincerity will tighten and tone like an overnight boot camp in your skin and rehydrate and stop transepidermal water loss, I was in. And so there's a picture of Phyllis's hands, and one hand is snappy and the other hand is totally wrinkled. And that totally blew my mind that one person could have a wrinkly hand and then you could change the tone, texture, and elasticity in your skin by just rolling one product. So it absolutely is a game changer. If you have any concerns about your skin, we don't treat, cure, mitigate, or anything. But if you roll, and we've rolled acne, rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, scars, bug bites, any kind of
Yeah.
damage to the
Mhm.
skin, dry, cracked heels, all of that, you can create a barrier where it will rejuvenate naturally and hold in your own body's natural moisture factor. Ta-da! I love
Ta-da.
Skincerity and I want you to roll.
And Marlene's results, that was 6 weeks after rolling. I wish she would have taken a before picture before she started, but I mean, her legs were even pretty bad then. And then 4 months in, and she said her legs looked like this. I mean, good. It's all cleared up and everything looks good. So she's a firm believer. You can see Carlita with her burn, and that was 2 nights of rolling Skincerity. So truly amazing product. Now we're talking about the drops, and I will just go over a few other before and afters, and then we'll have Brenda on. So this is our new day and night drops that we have here in Canada. Same results, different ingredients. It is herbal, easier to remember to take. You're taking the day drops 3 times a day, just like it suggests. You can take it before meals. You can take it with meals. You kind of go with what works for you. You don't have to have it under the tongue. And just read the booklet that comes with it. If you can go over that once or twice. The night drop, they suggest 1 to 2 hours before bed. Some of us take it just before bed, and you're taking 2 dropperfuls. So helps to support your glucose, helps to metabolize nutrients. You can see all the benefits there. The night drops are amazing. Let me just go on to the next slide. It shows a little bit of the ingredients and the main benefits. Day drops have the white kidney bean extract and the cinnamon, so natural. Green tea extract, and you can see it suppresses your hunger hormone, and then helps that, yeah, the hormone ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, and suppresses that signal for hunger too. And gives you that sense of well-being. And what's different about our products is it gives you that sense of well-being. So then you're more apt to read your ingredients or the labels, eat healthier, add in some exercise. Then what diets promise that you're going to lose weight and then feel good? So it's kind of reverse psychology. And that's what's great. And it's that education piece about lifestyle. It's not just releasing the weight, going back to what you were doing before. We want to maintain. And like Dr. Ray Strand said, anybody can release the weight. It's keeping it off. That's the biggest win. And that's what we like to see. A lot of people releasing it and keeping it off. The night drops has the L-theanine, which is really good, promotes that rest, sleep, and that's where you nice calming effect. You're not drowsy the next day. So, and that's huge. Without sleep, a lot of people are more apt to reach for that sugary drink or that sweet treat. And they're not as likely to eat healthy or maybe add in some exercise if you haven't slept well the night before. So those are our day and night drops. There's some before and afters, and this is my before and after in 7 weeks. And I wasn't really looking at this for weight loss. I mean, losing 5 to 10 pounds, great. And your clothes feel so much better. You got more energy. I was looking at it for more energy or increased energy, better sleep, mental clarity for sure. And my husband, Troy, so within 2 weeks, he'd released for 15 pounds, and within 11 weeks, he'd released 30 pounds. And that was us in Australia. And he's put a little bit back on, but he knows what he needs to do. So it's just he knows and every time you go off of the foods, we say low glycemic, so no sugar, no wheat, no dairy. When you're increasing your insulin, you're going to be working against the drops. So with following those foods and taking the drops, you're going to see results quicker. We're saying 2 times faster, but and you're more apt to decrease the hunger hormones and eat healthier. You actually almost crave healthier food. I used to reach for chocolate in the evening. I don't reach for that stuff anymore. I want something healthy. So that's really nice. And you add in a little bit of exercise. So there's Valerie from Victoria Island. She won the Slender Eyes Challenge in 2018, and she'd released 42 pounds within 3 months, and in all the right places, her hips, waist, thighs. And Dr. Crystal Vance, she released 163 pounds, 80 of it doing something else, and the other 80 with the Slender Eyes Challenge. And she's been able to keep it off. And like she said, as a physician, she should know, but that sugar addiction is huge. And we say type 3 diabetes or your insulin resistance, if you can get on top of that and really get rid of that sugar. You're reading more and more about sugar and how bad it is for you. They're saying that sugar addiction is worse than cocaine addiction. There's Suzanne. You can see just in the face, and a lot of times you see in the face where you see that inflammation gone. Lori released 40 pounds, and she's more active now. She's got grandkids. She's gardening for people a couple hours a day, and she said she feels better than she did 20 years ago. And Joanne, that's my sister-in-law. She's married to my brother who's a farmer. It's been very difficult for her, and I've seen her up and down all the time with her weight, trying everything. And it took her a little bit longer than she wanted. But when you're in the fields eating, you know, food like that, she said it took a little bit longer last summer, but she's been able to get off the weight and keep it off. There's Mita, 18 pounds and 14 inches. And Brenda. Okay, so Brenda is our guest here. So Brenda is from Lethbridge. She's a full-time hairdresser, married with grown children. She's got 4 granddaughters. Is that one of your
It's one of
grandchildren?
them is
Or is
me.
that your
Yeah.
daughter?
This is one of the granddaughters. I actually have 8
Eight.
granddaughters.
Oh,
Uh,
eight. Did I
yeah,
make a
so
mistake? Eight
you did not make
granddaughters.
the mistake. You did not make the mistake, but
Oh,
this is Poppy, and she is one of our granddaughters.
nice.
So there is 8 granddaughters.
And you own a salon. You've been a full-time hairdresser for 35 years, and your bucket list is to visit Disneyland resorts all over the world. I think you had something. Oh, you're wanting to give people hope. I know, and make them see the vision that what's impossible is possible, right? And I want
Yeah,
you to share your story because it's truly life-changing, I think, for people who've who are willing to give up, right? They've tried everything, they've talked to their doctor. If you could share your you got somebody needing your attention. If you can
very
share your
good.
story for, 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah,
And
you
I've got
bet.
another picture I want to share. So just go ahead,
Yeah.
Brenda. Thanks so much for hopping on.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Michelle, and I enjoy like sharing my story and how my life was. And I was desperate. I was desperate way back in 2023. I got married in July, and I felt the worst. Like I didn't like looking in the mirror. I tried every and it's really difficult when you're a hairdresser and you stand behind the chair and you got someone sitting in front of you. And if you, in my salon, it's a full length mirror. So I learned very quickly not to look at me in the mirror. I looked at my clients in the mirror, and because I didn't like seeing what I saw in the mirror. And I reached out, and I actually watched on Facebook for about 9 months before I actually reached out to someone and said, okay, will this work? And I was very skeptical because I was one of those people that I had tried everything underneath the book. Like, I did Weight Watchers, I did Jenny Craig's, I went to the gym and eat less and then just about pass out on the treadmill because you're not eating properly. I did, like I did the patches, and I did other companies, and you know what? There was one company that I did. I actually gained 15 pounds, and I would shake so bad, and I would lean against my chair because I thought I was going to pass out. So I thought, if I was to pass out, I want to fall on top of my client so I didn't have to, hit the floor on the cement floor. So it was really difficult. So then once I started the program, I'll be completely honest here, you guys. Like, when I first started, my first 2 weeks, I did not lose 1 pound. And my thinking was that, like, okay, I'm going to start this program. And with my program, I didn't just come in with the drops. In Western Canada, a lot of us are, and more so getting across, we call this little pack, it's called Brenda pack. And it was because of my success that I've had, I lost 100 pounds in 6.5 months. And everyone says that it's impossible to do that, but that's exactly what happened. I did lose the 100 pounds in 6.5 months. So I started off with the shakes. I did there in this pack. It's actually called, I think it's called the Fit pack, Go Fit. It's probably going to change because things are changing in our company right now. But in the pack, there was the shakes. We had Restorex, we had Elite, we had probiotics, and we had the drops. And I thought, okay, so if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to do this, and I'm going to commit to it. And I had to be coachable. So, and the best thing about it, I was not alone. I had people that was there to help me and guide me. And then when I was in the first 2 weeks, when I said I didn't lose not 1 pound, I was devastated, because here I was at 306 pounds is when I first started. I was 306 pounds, and I was just like, I was so devastated. I thought, oh my gosh, this is not going to work. How come my body is rejecting everything? So then one of my coaches, she said to me, she goes, you know what, Brenda? She goes, I want to know what you are eating. And I said to her, okay. So I sent her a couple of days of what I was eating. She goes, you know what? She goes, do not count calories. You're not eating enough. And I said to her, well, my thinking is that you needed to eat less and do more. So what I did is I actually put my stomach into my whole body into a shock and into a starvation. So then it was anything that went in there, whether it was watered, liquid, didn't matter. It would hold on to it. But I may was losing some inches, but I wasn't losing any pounds. And at the time, it was like I needed to see weight loss. I needed to see numbers come off the scale. And so that didn't really happen. So this was me at 306, and this was me on the weekend, on the thing. And I was showing this picture here actually to my sister-in-law just the other day, and she goes, well, who is that? I looked at her, I go, well, who do you think that is? It's me. And she goes, oh my gosh. She goes, oh my gosh, she could not believe, the transformation that I've had. So when I did this, I stuck to it. There was a food plan. I stuck to the food plan. I didn't go wandering off. It was like one of the best decisions I ever made, because then I had a lot of off-scale victories after I was eating, and I was eating anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 calories a day. And so, not that I was counting, but I knew I was full all the time, right? I didn't feel like I was deprived of anything. So when some of my off-scale victories I started this in October. I went to Vegas, and I sat in the plane. I sat in the plane, and I didn't need the extension to the seatbelt. And every time I've ever flown before, I would always ask the airline steward as I walked by, and I go, "Do you think I can get an extension?" Because I knew I needed one. And so, and that time, I actually asked for one when I went into that plane that day. And then when I sat down, and she goes, "I don't think you need it." And I go, and I was like feeling a little bit embarrassed. And I thought, yeah, I do need it because I've always needed one. I was able to click up that extension, and I didn't have a lot, but I had that much room. It was like an inch. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't need an extension. So now when I get on the plane, I have like that much room. And it's an amazing feeling, having that. And, so that was one of the off skill victory like that I had. And then when one day I was on a Zoom and I just like I was sitting here and I pulled up my hair and I went like this and I like, holy crap, I've got a jawline. I've never seen a jawline. Like if you look at my picture there, that was what I saw. So and then all of a sudden I had a jawline and I was just like I just about cried because I have not seen that since I was probably 22 years old because I've struggled with my weight for a very long time. And one of the biggest things that was really touched my heart is when I have my granddaughters every Thursday, and my granddaughter came up to me and she wrapped her arms around me and she goes, "Oh my goodness, Grandma." She goes, "Grandma, my arms reach." Well, my heart just hit the floor, my jaw, and I had tears in my eyes because I never knew that what it meant to them to reach their arms around me and to be able to hug me. So when you have those off skill victories and when you're doing with this, like people just say, you know what, I used to have my doctor used to tell me, you know what, just accept who you are. And I just said, you know what, I can accept who I am, but I don't like who I am. How do you go through life and not like, what you look like, and you always put on this front that you think that, what, I'm okay, I'm good, I'm all that, and that's all it is. You didn't care, right? But deep down inside, when you're in alone and you start looking at the mirror and you do look at the mirror, do let me tell you, we can absolutely like beat ourselves up, punch ourselves out. We might as well take in the back to you because what you do to your self-confidence, what you do to um, your everything in your life, like you just don't feel like you can do it, and you feel like you're defeated.
And what did the
And
doctor say, Brenda? Because you kept going to the doctor and saying,
I
I don't
yes, I
feel
did.
good. I ached all over. And what did the
It's
doctor say?
Well, my doctor, when I went in there, he would tell me, well, he goes, I can put you. He wanted to put me on Ozempic, and he wanted to put me on metformin, and there was another medication too. It is also used for diabetics that they'll use to control weight. And I looked at him and I thought, like I knew nothing about Ozempic at the time. I knew nothing about anything else. And then I had this medication and, I had it written out, right, as a prescription. And I showed it to my mom and I said, well, come home and, you Google it and looking at all these side effects and looking at all this stuff. So I went back to him and I said to him, and I go, okay, I'm really confused because you told me that I'm not diabetic, I'm not pre-diabetic, but yet you're giving me stuff for a diabetic. Why are you doing that? He goes, well, because you want to lose weight. And I said, okay, but you're going to put me in a grave because this stuff, what it's going to do to my body, I'm going to need other medications to fix this and fix that. And it made absolutely no sense to me. And I said to him, I go, from what I understand, I am not a doctor, I am a nurse. Not a nurse, I'm a hairdresser. And my PhD is I am a professional hair designer. That's what I am. So, and I just said, I am not stupid, but all that says that's dumb. And why would I want to risk my life? To be, I'd be better off to be plus size than it was to go on something like that and have chronic disease for the rest of my life. And that was one thing I wanted to prevent for me.
Mhm.
And that's exactly what I did. So I became an advocate for myself and I went forward with it. And when I went in there and I was down 60 pounds and he was like, typing on this thing and he's looking, he goes, I go, okay, why don't you just ask me? And I said to him, I go, you were going to put me on something that made no sense to me. And I go, and I took control and I went on something that was pure nourish for me. And I told him about it. And he goes, well, whatever you're doing, you keep doing. He goes, I don't know what to tell you. He goes, but you do need to share it with everybody what you're doing. And that's exactly what I want to do today. I want to everybody to know that you don't have to go with the doctor and say, keep going with it. And you don't have to, look up your stuff. Go with your gut feeling. Take a chance. And you know what? The thing is, you can always go back to that if you have to. You can, I'm not saying that medication should be limited, but there's a place for it. It wasn't a place for me. And because I want to live, and now I get to live my fullest life. And when I was in Hawaii in April, this last April with my husband, there's a hike. I've always wanted to go to this hike where this big fall was. I could never do it. There was no way I could ever do it. I didn't have the energy. I didn't have
Stamina.
I would have died. I would have died going up there. So, and I was just like, there's no way I was going to take that chance in doing that. And I actually went there and I took a picture in front of this wall. I've been going out to Hawaii for over 19 years and I finally did it. And it was the most rewarding thing that I've ever done in my entire life because I knew I could do it.
You
And
just
then
did
I did
something
it.
else, Brenda.
Yeah.
You just did something else with the girls.
Let's see here. What did I do?
Spartan or a 5K thing? Was
Oh,
it
we did a foam fest.
a
Oh, yes, I
foam
did.
fest? Yes.
Okay.
Oh
And you know what?
my
Yes, we
God.
did a foam fest. And you know what? I've done foam fest before, but there's a lot of things that I wouldn't go and do because you have to pull your weight up on
Yes,
things and
yes, yeah.
and you had to go over. And there was this one, and I was just like, okay, I don't like heights, you guys, but I was so determined when I looked at it, I said, I'm conquering that and I'm doing it. And I did it.
Good for
And
you.
when I was up top there, I was, freaking out a little bit because it was a little scary being up top because I think it was probably, I'm going to say about 10 feet up.
Oh,
And then when I got and came down on the other side, and you had to climb up with the ropes and you're pulling your weight. Well, I was able to zip up there and then get down. And I was just like, okay, I can do this. And I
amazing.
did every obstacle in that foam fest this last year with actually our team from with Partner Co. And it
Yeah.
was so much fun and it was
It's
just
like
so
family,
rewarding.
huh? It's like family,
Yeah,
another family.
absolutely.
Like I
Yeah.
find like the partner co-family is
Yeah.
sometimes you're closer to them than some of your family
Yeah.
members. But I have one
Yeah.
more question. Have you been able to keep all the weight off?
I have kept off, I'm going to say I've kept off the majority of the weight. I've battled with about 10 pounds here and there, but
Okay.
over the last, and it's been about a year and a half that I've kept it off, most of it. Um, I've had some little bit of detours, but you know
Mhm.
what? I know it's
That's
coming back
life,
up, and I
right?
still
Yeah.
feel it's part of life. But you know what? It
You
also
just
is just doing a reset. So I'll be completely honest. Yes, I have put on about 10 pounds, and that 10 pounds is my goal to be off before I go to PXP in December. So
and you
not
know what
December,
you
in
need to do.
September.
Yeah, and you've
Yeah,
learned a lot, I'm sure, over
yeah,
the year and a half, what's
yes.
good eating, when you're off plan and how you feel.
Oh
And
yes.
yeah,
If
and
you,
add in
yeah,
that exercise and yeah,
yeah.
your labels.
And I don't say I don't go to the gym. I don't go to the gym. I go for a big walk around. There's a lake in Lethbridge here. It's Henderson Lake. I go for a walk, and I do that a half hour before I go to work, and sometimes I'll do it again. When I get off work. I had the best thing about it. I have the energy to do it. So, and that's what feels good about everything that we can do. And one thing about these shakes, what I really like these shakes about, because I stand behind a chair, is that I just have to add water to it. I don't have to add any. I do not have to add anything else to it, and it is to me like a total meal replacement.
Yeah.
And I always tell anybody that when they're starting this program and everything, always start with your protein first. You get that protein in your body first, and then, then you have your vegetables and have your stuff going, and then you can mix around. But you have your very first bite is your protein. It makes a huge difference, and it really helps with your body. So if I can give that one tip, and you know what, don't do this alone. Get out there. You know what? Don't do this alone, and don't ever feel that you're alone. And reach out to somebody, whether
Mhm.
it's if you wanted to reach out to me and you just felt comfortable, you wanted to talk to me and ask me what my tricks are, where I did that, I'm 100% more than happy to do it, because I think as men, women, children, and you look at what's going out there, what's happening with our kids are like being like 150 pounds at 10 years old. You
It's,
know what? That should not be happening.
mm.
And you know what? We need to take this back, and we need to take back our control, and we need to be feeling better. So if there is anything that we can change, this is one thing that we can change is our
And I
diets.
started on the Brenda pack and I love the pack. And it's one less meal you got to think about, right? And I think when
Oh,
you started, you
absolutely.
were taking
Yeah.
2 shakes a day so that you
In the
don't,
first couple of
yeah,
weeks, I did.
yeah.
I did take those. In the first couple of weeks, I did take that, but I think that's why my thinking was that I was not getting enough because I wasn't eating
Oh,
more, and I was fasting too.
okay.
So, and I
Well,
think I
and
went into a
that's our
start
old
and it's some
mentality,
thinking.
right? Was
Yeah,
starve yourself, you'll release the weight. I
yes, and
remember
that's
starving
what,
myself.
how
Hmm.
many times you start anytime how many every diet starts in the dressing room when you go and buy something. And
Yeah,
you're like, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start something, right? And what is the first thing you do? Okay, I'm not gonna eat this, I'm not gonna eat this, I'm not gonna eat this, and not that. And then you're stuck with a leaf.
yeah,
And that's it. And you can't live off that. You
yeah.
have to eat properly and have a little bit more. So
I
yeah.
have to ask
Yeah.
you one more question. Sorry.
Okay.
Now, I know you probably had a little bit of skin after losing that amount of weight. What products do you suggest? Because you never had surgery, huh? You
I
didn't
did
have
not.
any
No, I have
surgery?
not had. I did not have surgery with this weight loss, and I do not have a lot of skin that hangs on me. Um, I had what took was Vinali, so Vinali and Noni. So there was just one day I was on a call. I was on Facebook, and one Dr. Crystal Vance was on, and so I was listening to what she was doing about her skin, and to make it so that it was tightening up. So because it's at a cellular level, I would started for 3 weeks straight. I would do 4 capsules of Vanilli every day. And then on the fourth week, I did 6 capsules a day for that. You go through a lot of anatomy, but I don't have a lot of skin that hangs on me. So, and I felt good. And the other thing is, I haven't been sick in over, I haven't been sick in, sorry, I haven't been sick in the last basically year and a half, so I work with the public. So that's the products that I do use. I use every one of them. I use optimals. I've used the shakes to this day. I still use the drops because I do have some, I want to lose more than another 10 pounds. I actually want to lose another 30 on top of that. So we're looking at 40. And that's my goal is to hit by hopefully by Christmas. That's my goal is to release that kind of weight. So, and it's doable. It's just, you know what?
We know you
It's
can do
just,
it. You got it in you. We know you can do it.
so thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Brenda, for hopping on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm just going to move along. Sorry, we were a little bit there, but I just love hearing Brenda's story and I could listen to her all day. Quickly moving on, the business, there's the Partner Co Lifestyle. You can earn trips for free covered. A lot of the top leaders just got back from Bali. I was able to earn a trip to Punta Cana this year after being in the company for just over a year. I know Brenda and I were at PXP last year. We were both in the fashion show. I met you soon after joining. I went to Kelowna to an event, and yeah, I just connected. I go by myself if I don't have a team yet. I go. I just love connecting with everybody, and like I said, it's just such a close-knit family. Everybody's there willing to see you win and succeed. This was in Punta Cana, and a little grasshopper landed on my hand. We were all holding some of the products there. There's Darren Zobrist and his wife. It's kind of nice. The founders bring their families to a lot of the events and the trips. So, and yeah, you can do this from anywhere. And one of their mottos is work as an adventure, which I really believe. And there's the founders, they're best friends, they're neighbors in Puerto Rico. Darren, a businessman, he's our chief executive officer. And we are a debt-free company, which is pretty cool. These owners just have the heart to help people, and they want to see lives change and people get healthy along the way. And John, like I said, was one of the brand partners for Tahitian Noni. So we're pretty lucky to have these guys as our founders. You can see the numbers by the bottles sold, the countries we're in, the amount of Tahitian Noni sold. We have a healthy social life in all the followings. We've won many awards, and we've got one of the number one voted compensation plans. We get paid 8 different ways. You can see all the countries we're in 50 plus countries, I think closer to 60 now. You just change the little flag and see what country we're in and what products we carry there. You can see all about the ways you can get paid. We get paid on a weekly basis. What's nice, this matching bonus, the company, once you earn a certain amount, they will match that 15% and put it in, or the savings bonus. And then when you get to 10,000, and that's 10,000 US, they write you a check. And there was quite a few just on the call about a week ago that all got calls from the owners. I think Lucy West and Katie Holt Larson. For a cheap price in Canada is $39.85 with tax, in the US a little bit less with the US dollar, but you get a replicated website, your back office, partner co-share app, everything you need to grow and succeed. You get all of us that you can reach out to, and a team of professionals and lots of award-winning marketing tools. So very easy, and a system of growth. I never saw anything with this last business I was in where they give you the posts and the verbiage to put on your social media. It just makes it easy to build, and people come to you wanting to try the products or buy or for more information, which was a lot different than what I was doing before. You can see, and I know we still have the old drops on there, but they are the day and night drops here in Canada. You can see for a low cost, you can get a 4-pack. You can save, use 1 box for yourself, sell the other 3 at retail, and earn a bit of a profit. And even with our 10-pack, you can buy 3 10-packs and reach the highest level for your commissions. Keep 1, sell the other 29, and you can see the profit there. A lot of younger people, younger generation, are seeing the ability to make money and work from home and that flexibility. And so they are jumping on board for sure. So yeah, it's easy. It takes less than 5 minutes to enroll. Any questions, you can reach out to the person who invited you to the call. So I'm just going to stop the recording here.